and welcome back to the Single Mom Space. If this is your first time here, know that the Single Mom Space is not about your kids. It's about you as single parents helping each other grow and build on our finances, travel, and also our relationships. I hope that you enjoy this video, and if you do, don't forget to like or even subscribe to this video. Leave a comment. I love reading everybody's comments. Today's video is going to be all about crucial mistakes that we make when we're making a budget. What am I talking about? I'm talking those things that you feel like are surprises that come in and F up your budget, okay? They F it up. No matter how hard you try to tweak and fix, well, these are the things that normally that people forget when they're making their budget. So let's jump right into this video. Tip number one, they don't think of the annual, biannual, and quarterly things that come up. So let's say your car registration, you paid that annually. If you didn't budget for it, then you didn't save the money for it. But if you think about it at the beginning of the year and then you start saving all year long for it, and then it ends up being pennies and you'll be okay. Think of those activities for your kids that only come up, let's say quarterly, let's say seasonally, seasonally, yeah, your child has karate or basketball or whatever activity that they're doing. The fees only come up at that point. If you forget about it, then you're scrambling trying to find money to pay for this activity. These are things that you have to include in your budget. So the way I do it is I save yearly a whole sum of money. So for me, let's say it's $100. I save on a monthly basis $100, so that when things pop up, like let's say the kid who cuts my grass or the person who shovels my driveway in the wintertime, these are things that come up on an annual basis, but I take care of it and it's already in my budget. So the next one is you guys don't include fun money. That's the thing. It's like we don't include fun money into our budget, like as if since we have a budget, we can no longer have fun. That doesn't make any sense. Things pop up, you're gonna always wanna have fun. So why not include it in the budget so it doesn't come in and mess up your monthly budget or your monthly plans? Next thing is trying to cut everything. You ever start a budget and you're like, I'm gonna cut the cable, I'm cutting the internet, I'm cutting my phone bill, I'm not calling anybody, I don't want any more text messaging fee, and you're just like, dude, you're gonna always text message. You're gonna need internet to watch Netflix. Like, these are things you don't cut from your budget because sometimes your kids are gonna need it, or you're gonna wanna have it, or you're gonna start feeling like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? I have to go to the library to go access and go online. That's ridiculous. If your internet bill is, let's say, $30 a month, let's just say, your internet bill is $30 a month. If you're paying that $30 a month and you're using Wi-Fi, then you don't need a high cell phone package, but you still need unlimited internet. It's another thing. People don't realize that they need unlimited internet, not just regular internet. As for me, I know my son watches YouTube. I'm on YouTube, right? So I need unlimited. I can't have just, X amount of gigs per month. That doesn't work for me. So know what works for you and don't run around cutting everything. Like, I know that I did a budget once and I said, I'm gonna live on $20 a week for food. $20 for 2 people per week. Who was I kidding? Where was I eating?
What was I eating?
It's not possible. So don't put the impossible in your budget. If you know your family needs $300 a month for food, then put that $300 a month for food and cut somewhere else. So the next thing is you don't adjust your budget based on your salary. Okay, so let's say you work hourly and for that week somebody was sick, or maybe your salary got cut, or maybe somebody had a job loss, or you had a job loss, or you had cutbacks. You don't adjust your budget to those situations. Okay, so like me, as if you watch the story when I lost my job, I was still living like I had that income, but I no longer had that income. So I should have cut my budget from then and said, you know what, we're cutting this out, that out, that out. So let's say I'm gonna cut my gas bill because I don't use as much gas, or because I don't have to travel to work, or I'm going to not shop. Instead of having a clothing budget that month, I'm going to remove it from the budget because you know what? I'm not going to buy clothes. I'm going to wear what I have already in my closet. So adjust your budget based on your income, not on the income that you wish you had by using credit to fill in those gaps. Live on the money that you make. So the next thing is creating built up FOMO. Okay, if you've ever tried to budget and it didn't work, you ever had that built up FOMO where you're saying no to everything? You're saying no to going to the movies with your family. You're saying no to a nice dinner in. You're saying no to, having drinks with your girlfriends. You cannot always say no. And I know, you should say no sometimes, but you cannot always say no because it's gonna be building up. That the time that you do end up saying yes, you're gonna go out and you're gonna spend like a mad person because you're saying, oh my goodness, it's the first time I'm out. I need to spend that money. These are things that you don't need to have, you don't need to do. If you have little fun during the month, this is where fun money comes in. You have that little fun during the month, then you don't feel like you missed out on anything. So when you do have to say no, people understand you say no because you say, okay, you know what, I've had my fun already. The next thing is you don't give every dollar a category. So you ever did your budget and you have an extra $50 left and you kind of leave it in your account? Well, see what's happening with that extra $50? It's not doing anything. So you feel like you can spend that $50. So when you go to the store or you go to lunch with your friend or whatever the case may be, you're like,
oh, I have that extra $50, so I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna spend it
on lunch. Because you never gave it any categories. You didn't tell it where to go. So what happens? You go to lunch again and you still think of that same $50 because you didn't realize that you've already spent that extra $50. Or you decide, oh well, I'm gonna go buy these new shoes because I still have that $50 in my account. But then by the end of the month you realize you're $200 over budget and you're like, wait a minute, didn't I have extra money? No, you didn't have extra money because you didn't give it a job. You have to give every penny that you make a job. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have, let's say, an emergency 50 just in case, a bill is higher than it should be. That, by saying it's an emergency $50, you gave it a plan, you gave it a category, you told it where to go. This is only for extra bills that come in and it's my emergency. If it's going to lunch, you say, okay, this is the money that I'm gonna use to go to lunch. When this money is done, it's over. So you just spent $25, you only have $25 left because you gave each penny a place to go, a category. Budget is not a prison. It's not you cannot do. A budget is just giving your money a job to do, okay? You're telling each penny where to go and what